All right, guys, good evening. The Dragons got a win. The Sea Dragons got their first ever win as the Sea Dragons, and we are officially off the schneid. The Sea Dragons 30, the Vipers 26. Good game, dramatic game, came down to the last couple seconds there. Sea Dragons needed what basically amounted to a Hail Mary to come out with it. They had to overcome a two-score deficit. It was what this league needs to be right now because it is sloppy. It's a sloppy league. A lot of the things going on in the games, you just look at them and you go, yeah, that's what happens when you get substandard players out there who aren't up to the NFL standard. This is what happens. You get stuff like dropped passes. You get stuff like lack of basic awareness on a football field. But the game was fun. The game was engaging. The game had an intriguing handicap on both teams with the ridiculous amount of wind. And we finally got that good result, man. Sea Dragons take the dub. So, trying to talk about what's going on with this team right now, because of course, even though we won the game, it was messy. It was definitely messy. We had two turnovers that swung this game significantly. I think that if we had a more even turnover spread, you definitely would have seen us win this game pretty easily. And we saw some of the same problems on the defense, unable to come up with big stops on like 3rd and long, unable to come up with the big stops just in general, not forcing turnovers. That's one thing that's really bugging me. In a league like this, there should be a lot of turnovers. Your defense should be feasting. And we've definitely allowed our opponents to feast on us in terms of turnovers, but we're not getting any ourselves. Seems like the defensive play calling's not really there. So there's some problems. I don't know if this team is going to be able to fix things in time, but they can score. When they're on their game, when their heads are in the game, they can put up points. And maybe that'll be enough. Maybe that'll end up being enough to put together a decent season. We got 7 games left. We're 1-2. I mean, look, it doesn't seem like any one team in this league is dominant, right? Like, you've got the Battlehawks 2-0, but look at the way they've won their 2 games. That's not a dominant team. So, got to keep fighting. Got to keep playing hard. Got to hope things eventually go your way. But this was a nice start. I'm not going to pretend like all the issues are fixed. Far from it. There were some real discipline issues out there that I noticed. I don't know if those are ever going to go away this season, but we overcame it. So offensively, look, the numbers are there, right? The numbers are there. Today we didn't even have our starting running back. Knox was out. Knox was a scratch. And we still ran the ball really effectively. We had 2 receivers almost at 100 yards. Gordon had 117, and the other guy, I'm spacing on his name. Let's actually check here real quick. But he had a 99. Yeah, Pearson had 99. So, explosive offense. We had right near 500 yards of offense in this game. So, moving the ball is no problem. And I will say this, Ben DiNucci has proved that he has the arm to push the ball down the field. He does. He was pushing it through the wind, extreme wind conditions, so he has the arm. You had the last touchdown, of course, but even that first touchdown he threw, that was like a bullet. That was a bullet into the wind for a like 24, 25-yard touchdown strike. So I look at that and I go, this guy does actually have an arm. He can actually push it down the field. Let's hope we keep pushing it, especially in games where the conditions are not such a big factor. The receivers are nice. I mean, the offensive line seems to be holding up well on most plays. They seem to be better at pass blocking than they are run blocking. DiNucci seems to have a decent understanding of how to use his legs. So the table is set. The stage is set for this offense. I don't know if these little things that are holding them back ever get cleaned up. Like, we had a couple penalties in this game, which of course I can live with, but you had that one interception by DiNucci where he can take off and run for an easy 10 yards. It's first down. The wind is extreme. You don't want to be throwing it if you don't have to. And he has the opportunity to just take off and run for an easy 10 yards, and he just stops and chucks it right to a Vipers defender. And you can tell from his body language that the moment the ball leaves his hands, he knows he messed up. But, like, I watched that play and I just go, okay, I'm kind of done with this guy. Then he leads you on the amazing comeback at the end of the game, scoring touchdowns, making big plays down the field, coming through at the most important moments. And you're like, okay, he is leading this league in passing yards right now, I think. And he probably will be even after tomorrow when the other teams get to go. But it just feels like there are some things being left on the table here with the turnovers. I don't know if it's going to get cleaned up is the thing, right? Because Ben DiNucci, there's a reason why he barely got drafted in the NFL and didn't make it in the NFL, right? There are limits to him. So I don't know if we can sit here and say, yeah, we're definitely going to be able to get elite level, XFL level, of course, elite XFL level play from him. So I don't know. But the stage is set, man. This offense, they showed you what they could really do today. Defense, I don't know. It just seems like the play calling on defense is a disaster. We're not getting turnovers. We can't take the ball away. I watch these other XFL games. I see turnovers. I see, quarterbacks with noodle arms where you look at it and you go, yeah, that makes sense why there are a lot of turnovers in this league. There are so many opportunities these quarterbacks give you. The ball carriers aren't handling the ball very well. And I'm looking at my team, the Sea Dragons, and I'm like, where are the turnovers? It's 3 games. Do we have a turnover yet? I don't think we do. I don't believe that we do. We have, I think, a -7 turnover differential. And in a league like this, where sometimes you just need those big plays to flip the game because it's so hard to earn everything, you need those turnovers, man. You need those turnovers. So the fact that we can't take the ball away and the fact that most of our attempts to rush the passer end in disaster, it seems like it's a big problem. That was one thing I noticed in this game. Every time we got pressure on Huntley, who, by the way, I thought Huntley played a really good game. Credit to him. I knew he was going to be good in this league. It made sense to me that a guy like Brent Hundley would be good in the XFL. Every time we got pressure, it never resulted in the negative play. Huntley was either able to get away and get the edge and turn it into a big play, or he was able to find the hot route, wide open receiver underneath for a wide open completion. Sometimes he threw it away, and that's a good result, but I'm just looking at this and I'm going, okay, we can't get turnovers, we can't get meaningful QB pressure most of the time. I think we had 1 sack in this game. And we're not the only team in the XFL that is having issues getting meaningful QB pressure, I will admit that. Like, we saw that from the Vipers today, honestly. Like, they would get pressure on DiNucci, and DiNucci would just take off and run with it. But you put it all together, and it's a defense that has moments, but can't get it done at the most crucial. They have these opportunities to flip the game, and they just don't get it done. They just never get it done at those crucial moments. Like you had on the second to last Vipers drive, 3rd and 11, and they give it up. They had a 3rd and 12 that they gave up that turned into a touchdown. That play ended up turning into a 6-point swing. So it's a defense that seems like they can be pretty good, but never gets it done on the most crucial plays. They're always giving up that big 3rd down or 4th down. They're heavily dependent on the other team just kind of messing up. Then, of course, you had all the penalties. You had the kick that was too short. I think we had a kick that went out of bounds. We had a face mask. We had a low block. So discipline and coaching continues to be a problem. But hey, overcame it today. All right, I just wanted to quickly recap the first ever Seattle Sea Dragons win. See you guys on Twitch, by the way. I am going to go live on Twitch in a few minutes here. Fire Emblem Night. Hope to see you guys there. Go Dragons. Got the dub.